This is unique. We got Steve Gregg, the Christian talk host, on co-hosting with Larry Elder.
I'm afraid not very much. I was not very politically savvy back in the 60s and 70s, I have to say.
Well, he was an Episcopal father, a priest, whatever they call themselves, who was really the first to, in a kind of a scholarly way, introduce some of the Eastern concepts. And I didn't find them at all in conflict with Christianity, the way he presented them. Not only that, I picked up TM, and I was talking to a friend that was sort of a mentor, and I came back after I'd learned TM, and I asked him what he thought about it, and he said, it's straight from the pit. And I thought that was really hilarious, because these things are all in God's hands.
I've heard people, Pete, say the same thing about yoga.
Yeah. I mean,
as if God is.
Many people think that all forms of spirituality are the same because they seek inner peace, they seek a better life and things like that. But as I said earlier in the program, the worldview is completely different. You see, in the Eastern worldview, which TM, for example, embraces, and yoga also, for that matter, the Eastern worldview, there is no actual God who created us, to whom we're going to answer or to whom we're responsible. You are your own God. All is God. It's a pantheistic religion that everything is God, including you, and your hope is to discover the God within, whereas Jesus taught that there's a God outside of us, transcendent to us, who made us, and to whom we will answer someday. And so, although many of the goals of inner peace and a better life are shared by all religions, not always for the same reasons. And the worldview is all important, I think.
Dennis is in Yorba Linda, California. Dennis, you're on with Steve, Gregg, and Larry.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I just have a quick question for Mr. Gregg. I listened to part of The View today on a program had to do with Joy Behar. She was discussing Vice President Mike Pence. It was reported or stated that Mike Pence speaks to Jesus. And Joy Behar and the others, especially her, she made a big joke about it. She said that, well, this sounds like some type of mental illness if a person speaks to Jesus. It was a big fat joke. Just curious, excuse me, of your guests, if we've heard that or any comments from
Dennis, before Steve responds, I got to tell you, I'm shocked that you watched The View.
No.
And listen to Larry Elder.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't watch The View. I do read Fox News, and it showed the entire.
I see. All right. I was just joking. It's all good. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but to respond to it.
Well, that illustrates the worldview shift that I mentioned at the beginning of the program. That there was a time, decades ago, that lots of people talked to Jesus, or believed they were, and no one thought it was very strange. It was simply part of being a Christian. But the modern worldview ridicules all things biblical, all things Christian. And so I'm not surprised to hear people mocking that. But I talk to Jesus too, so Mr. Pence and I would get along just fine on that point.
We come back, we're going to talk to Josh from Council.